apparently the lawyers and the I Bet You production people, they went back and forth and they found out, here's what you're getting paid, and there was like some fuzziness on travel expenses. So they said, look, what we'll do is we'll just give you one account for one check for travel stuff and one check for the show thing.
Okay. Phil is a cheap bastard. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they give us a very reasonable amount of money for travel. So if there's a shoot in New York, it's on our own pocket to get there, but they give us this hefty check for every 2 episodes, which is more than generous.
We're meeting at a place that's about a 35 minute drive from my place in LA. So I take a cab. What happens? I arrive. The cab is $53. I give the guy $70, $60. It's a $7 tip. And I confirmed on the ride over that Will would be there to pay out of petty cash for my cab ride. Well, I find out that they consider me taking a taxi ride to the set part of my travel expenses. Somehow, somebody, and I bet you, has the idea that paying for a cab is like travel expenses. I don't know where that came from. That just felt like pain and suffering to me, not travel expenses. Travel expenses, that's the check that's deposited in the bank, and I forget about that. That's a whole separate number, you know?
Phil happens to live in LA. The shoot is in LA. So it cost him nothing to get this travel money for free. So he takes a $60 cab ride when in essence he should be spending $500 on a plane ride and $500 on a hotel. So basically he pocketed the whole travel check and he's complaining and bitching about $60.
So when I see that Antonio has the credit card for North-South Productions, which is the I Bet You guys, and they're loading up the car in gas, I already had this big to-do. All of a sudden I found out I'm not getting petty cash for my $60 travel. Well, it sounds like a travel expense if I'm saying for travel, but it was for a cab, which is separate than travel, okay? For the cab. And that was like a little Freudian slip and nothing else. So I find out that they're planning on not paying me. I feel jilted and wronged. I take the credit card, I go inside. It dispenses the $60. Now I'm all happy. I fold up the receipt and I plan on, when the whole show is done after episode 8, then I'm gonna photocopy this receipt and I'm gonna send it to Mark Hickman, Tom, Hinkle, Antonio, Will, everybody, and say, petty cash this, punk, justice.
He steals the freaking director's credit card.
It was not theft. Theft is when you don't tell. I was gonna tell everyone what happened.
He takes the credit card. The company credit card goes inside the store and tries to take the money out without anybody knowing.
I didn't try to do it, I did it.
Cheap bastard.
But the whole thing was foiled because they mic'd me up and I've got a mic on. So I go in there and Tom, who's strapped back here with the sound equipment, hears and he hears the machine dispense $60 and he probably hears me go, justice. I threw the money in disgust back at Tom, who happens to be the figurehead for North-South Productions in the car. In disgust, he said, no. In disgust, he threw it back at me. He says, no, you take it. I'll just pay it out of my own salary. And, you know, he pulls the martyr trick on me.
I'm surprised you didn't make him pay it.
No, I gave it back to him. I threw it back at him in pain and disgust.
What does a cab do?
Say what?
What does a cab do?
He got me from A to B.
Right, what is that called?
That's called moving your ass from A to B.
Right, what is that called? Would that be a part of traveling?
No, that's petty cash. Cash out of the pocket feels like petty cash. Small cash, pocket, petty cash. P for pocket, P for petty, right?
Good one, Phil.
My epitaph is gonna read, into this world without my consent, leaving this world against my will, and owed $60 from petty cash from North-South Productions.